Hello to you guys and welcome to Elin, a game in which you can canonically worship a cat girl, a mistake I have found myself doing both in real life and also for at least 150 days in a game. But only now have I realized the error of my ways. Now I'm a proud worshipper of God of Harvest, the mushroom god, also known as Kimori. Well, as you can imagine, today I want to talk about Fate and why I think it's a really cool mechanic that you can all enjoy and it will benefit any sort of playstyle you have, because there is basically a god for any playstyle you can imagine. That's how amazing the game is. Like for instance, in Baldur's Gate 3, I played through the entire game and I had no idea what gods do at all. And this was because it was not essential to the plot, basically, or my enjoyment of the game. In here, I think any and each of you can basically just enjoy the whole mechanic. You can play without it, but why, if it's just so interesting? You benefited straight away, but you can also increase all the benefits as you sort of indulge yourself in basically just fulfilling all the requirements of this mechanic. So, first thing first, how do we worship a god? Well, you have to find an altar. Sometimes you will find it just randomly spawning in the world map. Sometimes you will find it in a dungeon. It's gonna be random, but the point being is that you just approach it and you worship it. But more often than not, you want a very specific god. Initially, as you start playing the game, you'll have no way of knowing, and that's why I sort of want to present you like all the gods more or less, because there is this place that has most of the altars of the gods, and it's a pre-designated location. It's called Truce Ground. If you go south from here, you will find Palmia, a city that you will find relatively quickly in the game. You just have to follow the road north, from more or less from your initial starting point. Okay, so the point being, let me just quickly go through all the gods that are here, so you have the general idea maybe like which god you want to worship, right? So, Money of Machine, right? This is the guy basically that gives you dexterity, perception, gun, spot. If you want to be a gunner, if you want to go all guns blazing and do the whole Doom guy expression, that's the god for you, right? Then, if you are a bit of a silly guy, then there is a god of luck, which, as you can imagine, might be called by some a cut girl. All the evidence is out there, that's all I'm saying. Then Kumori, right, for all the hardcore farmers out there. Then there is the god of Earth, that's Opat of Earth. All the strength, endurance, shield, weightlifting, you can imagine, a true Joe Rogan of gods. Element, so this is basically just for like all the mages out there, right? I imagine like you can all benefit from this. And yeah, what do we have here? Let me just quickly put this away. Luli of the Wind, right? All the evasion things, speed, bow, crossbows, like all the rogue, I guess, mechanics you can ever want. And finally, a Yuri of Healing, the one that basically is all about like the support, cooking, anatomy, regeneration, right? There is one in one of the more Asian-themed villages that gives one of the arguably the best skills in the game, and it's called Headbutt. I just gonna put it out there, like this, just to pique your interest, but I think like, arguably the best god straight away. Okay, point being, initially as you start with the Fate of the Void, you don't really get that many benefits, unless you are like one of the races, one of the starting races, then it is arguably quite useful. But you just want to go to an altar, approach it, and press worship the specific god, right? Once you do it, bam, instantly you get the benefits of Fate. This is shown in traits. You are blessed by God, and there will be some benefits here, right, relating to the corresponding god you have. So that's just as simple as it is. If you don't want to indulge any further into this mechanic, at least initially, that's everything you want to do. You can just forget about the Fate for the rest of the game. But if you do want to indulge in it, you may want a little bit of Fate, right? Some of the professions and classes start with Fate, right? Like let's say a farmer or a priest. Some of them do not. So, you need to unlock it, and I will show you in a second where you can unlock it. But also, as we are like next to all those altars, right? Let me just show you. Basically, as you have a Fate of the Void and you change Fate, nothing bad will happen to you. But initially, as I was worshipping a cat girl, and then I changed my Fate to something else, I received a divine punishment, believe it or not, as you would imagine, I guess. And basically, not only she strikes you down, but also you get this amazing gift in a way of an iron ball, which is very heavy, right? So but as we all know, right, when life gives you lemons, when life gives you huge iron balls, the thing you do is like you just train weightlifting, right? So this is arguably one of the best ways, in my opinion at least, to train weightlifting early on. Just commit a lot of heresy, you know. Oh god, oh god. Now I need to actually pray because some random enemies will just kill me. This area is not for me. Oh no, okay, we have survived, guys. We did it. We did it again. But I'm just showing this to you because I want to show that this is not a bad thing to be cursed. Like, not only you can benefit from it every now and then by basically exercising your weightlifting, but also the curse, the God's wrath, will eventually dissipate, right? And you can see weightlifting increased. Just run. Let's just run. Why is it happening now? My sincere apologies, guys, but we are back to the road. And as you can see, as we sort of walk around, right, let's just do a few more turns, it's gone now, right? And we are back to the square one. Like, we are not only worshipping a new god now, but also there is no divine punishment, the ball is gone, it's not a problem. And we also train weightlifting. What a great opportunity, right? You can repeat the whole process if you want, you can just like get your weightlifting. This is, by the way, also the skill that increases your max weight limit, right? So quite useful, arguably, for any playstyle. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to change your fate, and as you have this iron ball or a curse, you don't want to worship another god in this short amount of time, because they will strike you down. And as you can see here, they will strike you down quite hard. I don't think you can survive that, right? So we don't want to do it. You want for the curse of the god dissipate. Okay, so we got that. This was a little bit about the gods and how sort of they function in regards to just like start worshipping them. But in order to get most of this mechanic, you want to unlock the Fate skill. And this will be in Lumiest. Also, like, yeah, if you don't want the spoiler, you can just skip a little bit. But let me just show you where the city is, so you know. You see, like, our little city is here, Palmia is here, and Lumiest is on this little island here, right? So, as we sort of go through here, we can find a trainer. Oh, by the way, in every city, you can approach a god. I know, like, most of you will probably know this, but you can sort of ask where specific people are. How I usually use it is, like, just to even find what sort of people are in the village that sort of, you know, are important. So, also shout out to the guard in the Port Kapul who basically not only told me that there is a drug dealer, but also led me to him, right? So, what a great guy. Yeah, so let's just go to the trainer, and let me show you right here our trainer, and you want to unlock your fate. Initially it will cost like 5 platinum coins, right? But then you can sort of increase your potential by investing it. I sort of did it for the purpose of this video, that's why I have like none, but that's where you unlock it. And as soon as you unlock it, you can start leveling it up. How do you level it up? Well, you have an ability called Prayer. You can pray once a day, right? Not only it increases your fate, but it's also sort of like a get out of jail free card, in a sense that it, if you pray and the gods answer, your health is replenished. So like you are almost dead in the dungeon, you pray and hopefully the god will aid you, right? What a great thing, what a great mechanic. But sometimes when you travel, you still want to keep praying to just level it up. But like even in the fast travel, you don't have any way of just even pressing this. So what's the way around this? Well, in feats, you have this feat called Model Follower. And on level 1, it will make it so every day you will basically use the skill automatically by the end of the day. So like it will be there for you to be used, but it will also not be wasted by not being used, right? You also can level it up to the level 2, so your companions will also level up this stat, but I haven't used it so far. I imagine it could be quite good. The point being, this is one of the ways how you can level up Fate, right? Just automatically, passively for playing the game without even thinking about it. But there is another way, which is arguably a little bit more efficient. So every single god, they have their own preferences in regards to offerings they will accept. As you can imagine, Kumori, the god of harvest, loves seeds, right? So we can basically just place it on the altar and he will accept it, right? So let's cheese it a little bit by just utilizing my feat points. And now we are level 30 of Fate, right? So as you can see, we just put those and look at Fate right now. Sorry, yeah. Will it eventually increase, hopefully, maybe, eventually, please. Yes, okay, it did increase. So as you can see, the fate increases. Obviously, as it gets higher, it takes more time, but it does increase. But more importantly, imagine a fate as a sort of a cap for your piety. A mechanic that is not unfortunately shown anywhere on the, as far as I know at least, on your character sheet, right? There is this little bar filling up basically as you provide the offerings to your god. And initially, when let's say you have fate level 1 or like level 0, it's just like 1 piety, and you cannot exceed it no matter how much offerings you will give. That's why you want to level your fate, because it increases the cap of your piety, right? And as you increase the cap of piety, you put the offerings and you get the piety points. Those piety points later on in terms increase those benefits you get from the god. Not only that, but also once you basically get all the piety cap on level 15 and level 30, you get something special. Well, with every single god there is a different thing basically. So hopefully I'll be able to illustrate it. How you can basically sort of also monitor this. As I'm sort of putting the offerings, they disappear. The god is commenting, right? Oh, good thing. You feel as if your god is right beside you, right? This basically means that the piety bar is almost filled up, but not quite there. And hopefully, we will get it even higher. Yes, just in time. You feel a sense of oneness with your god, right? This message is the only one you need to remember, because it means that your piety bar basically is filled for this level of fate, right? And as you basically get this message when you have level 15 fate, you will pray, well, you can pray manually, not automatically, because it's not gonna happen, but if you pray manually, the god will award you for your devotion by a little ally. In my case, for Kumori, it's a fairy, so I know, not very exciting, but on the bright side, it is a cute fairy, as the name implies, I guess. I'm sort of using this symbiotic skill on it, because she's very squishy, but, you know, she basically summons all those little tentacles everywhere, little mushrooms, and it's just general havoc, and I absolutely love it. But yeah, the point being, every and each companion will be different. I will just leave it for you to find it out, what they do and how it sort of works. But yeah, when you are level 30, and you get this also message, you feel a sense of oneness with your god, and you pray manually, then you get a quite nice bonus. And it's usually something along the lines of like weapon. And it's a unique weapon, a great artifact from your god, right? It gives it's not only a great weapon, but it also gives benefits to your entire faction, right? So all your allies. The side note on this though, it's obviously different with each god, but the general idea is that it is a powerful weapon as long as you believe in the god. But when you change fate, this sickle, the scythe, will not be as powerful. Because obviously it's a fate-related weapon. I think there's one exception to this, and it has to do with the machine god. As you can imagine, most likely, he will give you a gun, and the gun itself, you know, it's a gun. It still works. It still works just as fine, right? So, yeah, basically, you can still keep leveling fate and increasing piety for these general bonuses here, but those are like the general things at the very moment that are implemented. So at level 15 you get the follower, at level 30 of fate, and with top like max piety at the time, you get some sort of weapon artifact, right? That's at least how it works. I'm still yet to experience like all the other gods and see what they actually do, but everything is more or less along those lines. Kumori for me was like particularly easy because you know, like farming is quite easy, and yeah, the mushrooms you can basically harvest every day, so you know, very very simple thing to do. So okay, we got this, but you probably want to ask something along the lines like, hey, how can I get one of those altars to my base? And this is a bit of a headache. It is possible though. So as you might have seen, and let's repeat this process yet again. There are those altars in the game, like every now and then. In a Truce Grounds, unfortunately, those are the unique altars, so don't do this technique on them, but I'll just show it so you know that it works. But the idea is that those altars cannot be changed to another god. I guess it has something to do with the truce, right? But the general idea is that all of those altars weigh a different amount. So the earth god, you know, the weightlifting god, that's gonna be a heavy altar, right? But when you think about cat girls, right, you probably imagine something relatively light. So that's how it is. As you see, I'm not being squished right now. I'm just being overweight a little bit, so it's not a problem whatsoever. And this means that I can read my scroll of, what is it called? Scroll of return. Return to my base, just walk a little bit, and hopefully it's gonna activate. Please activate the little scroll, I need you. And it's done, alright. And now we can basically put this altar in our base without any worries. I'm not sure if you can buy those altars from the cities, from the furniture stores. I haven't seen it so far, but maybe it is a possibility. And then you can send it through delivery box, basically, just straight to your base. The point being, this one, you cannot change the fate on this because it's from the truce grounds. But normally, you can do so. And how you do it, and basically, yeah, if you find a random altar in the map, you can basically take it with this method, and then you can change it to the god you want. And how you do it, and this was done basically in this specific regards, we just need to change the fate, unfortunately, because we cannot change this one, but we can change the other one. So yeah, God's Wrath, let's just maybe get a little bit of... Is it an enemy? No, it's not. Okay. So yeah, let's just wait a little bit, and hopefully... Okay, now we should be fine. So we'll go to other altar, since now we are believing in the cat girl again. Take our little offering. Basically, one quick word is I want to also mention is that all gods basically accept meat, right? And the general idea is that the value of the offering is somewhat related to the weight of the meat itself, or like the offering, or maybe the value even. You don't have to get this meat by yourself, like from animals. You can just go to the butchers across the land, and it's gonna work. But the point is, let's just do a very tiny little bit of a save here, just in case it's not gonna work, but usually it does. We put the meat on the altar, and bam! Ethel of Luck takes over the altar. I'm so happy, I like you, you know? You can see a little bit of a personality of your god as you sort of interact with the god, right? Anyway, the point being, now this is an altar of a cat girl. And that's how you can get a god, basically an altar of any god you want into your own base, so you don't have to go, you know, all across the land to perform your workships. So, not only you can put this is like just additional tips right now. Not only you can put offerings on this and level up your fate, but sometimes it has some different unique interactions. And let's say, have a look at the pot of water here, right? If you're lucky enough to get one of these, you can get on your own altar a blessed pot of water. Why is it good? Because, for instance, let's have a look at our shoes here. 4 PV, right? Which is like a protection value, I guess. So we can blend it with our blessed water, and bam, now it's blessed shoes, right? And they have 6 protection value. So you can basically bless your items. That's why I have a lot of those blessed items here. So that's sort of like one additional use for the altars. Another thing, by the way, oh yeah, in winter, every now and then you can get those tiny snowballs. Usually when people just like your residents walk around the area that has a lot of snow, they will indulge themselves in a little bit of a snowball fight. And how you can utilize it on the meal here, you can put those little snowballs, which are somewhat classified for some reason as a potion, and with the use of a little leaf, you can clean them up like you would a flask, and you get an empty potion flask. Why is this good? Because you can grab it and you can just approach any source of water and get yourself a tiny potion, right? So yeah, that's basically, I think like you know where I'm going with this. So that's an additional useful mechanic. Oh yeah, also if you have cursed items, don't fret, because if you have a blessed water and you blend it with a cursed item, it's not only gonna remove the curse, but it's gonna be blessed from this point on. So, you know, that's just as quite good as you can imagine. Okay, that's another thing. And, oh yeah, 2 more things about the winter. So not really about fate anymore, sorry about that. But I already know that you might ask about this. You can cultivate crops in the winter, but the only requirement is that on the seed menu here, it cannot say something along the lines, it needs sunlight. The only crop I can cultivate so far in the winter are mushrooms. Maybe there are more, but I haven't found them yet, so maybe they don't exist. But mushrooms do sort of work like this, so you can cultivate them all the way for winter. Also, another thing is, some of you may ask, hey, how did you get rid of the snow? And that's also quite easy one. You need just a bulletin board. As you level up, you get like more abilities with the bulletin board. Level up the heart, that is, not your character. And you have this little icon here that says edit the cells. And when you press it, in winter, obviously, it only works in winter, this specific one. But yeah, you just can remove all the snow cells, right? And that's just as simple as it is. Not only I think it looks a little bit better as it looks better. The point is, aesthetics of it are much higher, let's say, but also it helps in quite big time in regards to just planting those seeds, right? Also on the top of it, you can get rid of ice from the sources of water in your base. So I find it very useful. Okay, so yeah, we spoke today about Fate, how you can basically just start worship, how you can unlock Fate and how you can level it up. How you can get Piety points and when there are like thresholds of the Piety points, and also some additional tips, I guess, about some random things. I'm fairly certain there are people out there who know much more about this, or also know much more about specific Fate bonuses or like specific gods. I just wanted to put this out there because I wish I knew this sort of information before I started the game. I hope it's useful to you guys. I am still trying to read all the comments that you write, and I'm very thankful for this because I learned so much about the game just from you guys. So thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. And yeah, hope it helps. And yeah, have a good one. Thanks. Bye.